We are 8 episodes into the season already. Like, time is flying. Anywho, this episode starts off a little bit differently than other episodes in the past weeks. This one starts out kind of Shonda Rhimes-esque, where they start out with the drama that's occurring in the future, and they're talking about it from a past point, and then we go to like some 3 days earlier type shit. I don't know. We start out with Kyle and her barbecue. And she's talking about, yeah, I had a barbecue and it looks kind of shady that I'm having it maybe weeks after Denise Richards' barbecue. But to be fair, Kyle has always had this bougie barbecue every year. So I don't think it's, shade at all. So Kyle is narrating it and just saying about the blow up, how bad it was. We see that Denise and her husband's getting up from the table. They're storming off. She's telling them, don't talk to the cameras. Don't talk to the cameras. You have Lisa Rinna running barefoot up to them, trying to stop them. She's like, oh, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself in the confessional. She looks a little fabulous in that little red number. I like it. But she's saying, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. We started out with Garcelle, Garcelle's event, and that didn't go well either. So now we get to the beginning. They don't have an intro. So we start out with Garcelle. We're at her place. Thank God she's back for an entire episode. And she's getting glammed up by her team for like an honorary award that she's getting from some charitable foundation. She invited all the ladies and she lets people know that she's not a passive person like Teddy is. So we catch all the ladies getting ready. Lisa Rinna's going to be driving with Garcelle. Teddy, they have her getting ready. I really don't like what she's wearing. And it's not even because she's pregnant. She just shows something that's just not flattering at all. Rinna looks cute. She looks cute, with the pink number. They're driving in the car, her and Garcelle, and she's filling her in on what happened in Santa Barbara. And what happened in Santa Barbara is basically the whole... my kids are around, you guys talking about threesomes and shit like that. And Garcelle is just saying, well, it's simple. I mean, if she doesn't want her kids around, that's her choice. And much like to all of us, it's pretty simple. But for the ladies, they think it's a strike at their parenting and shit like that. Rinna also adds that, yeah, Denise has a lot to say about Kyle, but she didn't bring it up to her face. And it's just really strange. And then Rinna also, who's stirring the pot, just stirring it, telling Garcelle, yeah, and she kind of glosses over Denise just like she does you. Rinna is just sneaky, but she's a lovable sneaky. She's the Sheree of this season, just only more reputable, I guess, and more stylish. So we get to the event, Erica's entering it, and she looks fucking amazing. This green leopard dress, oh my God, shuts it down. I literally said, bitch, when I saw her walk in that outfit. We see Dorit isn't coming, she's sick. We see Kyle arrive, and she's not really hesitant, but she's just hesitant to deal with Denise because they never really dealt with anything that happened after Santa Barbara. For some reason, I thought the trip was for them to hash out everything. But no, they're going to extend this whole Denise plot until we get to the, I'm guessing the Brandy scandal. So as Garcelle is getting presented with her award, she's telling the camera in her confessional about, some candid information about her son. He had drug abuse. I'm not really sure, if he's still dealing with it now, or she was just talking about his struggles. So I'm not really sure, because she made it seem like he's not there because of his abuse problems. But I gotta say that Garcelle's confessionals are the only ones that I really be interested in, because she's just so relatable, of course. Being the only black woman on the show, and she's just so likable. I love her on this show. So as she's also accepting her award, she says, oh, well, to my new friends, some not so much. Now, Garcelle, I gotta call you out and I gotta be fair. Kyle is there, and that was a very petty moment that you just did. Yes, it was good for TV, but still, that was pretty petty. I'm not sure if it was a lighthearted joke. Kyle's just at the table when she goes back to sit down, like they're kind of just joking about it, and Kyle's just like, well, I'm here, you know, like I gotta be a friend, I'm here. And then Garcelle tells the camera like, well, yeah, I mean, in Beverly Hills you have a lot of charitable events. I mean, Kyle goes to events. Well, she could be there for me, or she could just be there for the optics and the paycheck, you know, because I'm thinking that of course she's gonna go to where all the housewives are. I mean, they're kind of obligated to do that. I'll get into that later about the barbecue. So the ladies go to chill at the lounge, and Denise walks up and says, oh, where's Garcelle? You know, I want to tell her bye. Like, they're like, you're leaving already? She's just like, oh, I gotta wake up in the morning, 6 a.m. It takes me an hour to get home. Denise knows she just doesn't want to be there for the bullshit, and she even says that in her confessional. The ladies easily clock that as well. But yeah, Denise just not here for the bullshit tonight. Like, she came, she came to the event, she's on camera, she ready to go home. So as Denise hightails it out of there, Garcelle joins the group. She sits down and asks, oh, so, you know, tell me, how was Santa Barbara? Again. And she wants to know, was anything resolved? And I'm guessing she's talking about the Denise issue. God, I'm tired of this topic. I really am. Basically, the ladies come to the conclusion that the Denise from last season is different from the Denise this season. She was very sex positive. She's talking about how big her husband's penis is, the happy endings, and now she's going to be like, oh no, not me, oh my God, not in front of my child. So they're thinking she's being fake and phony. Garcelle's basically trying to tell Kyle that she feels like the interest and the interest in her is just very surface. Like, you don't really want to get to know me. And then the ladies kind of bring up a good point. Just like, Garcelle, you're not usually here a lot. Like, you're always away or working. And we do get the flashbacks to back that up at least 3 times. So I get that, you know, like, maybe the ladies aren't, you know, getting that connection because they don't see her that much. But again, if Garcelle feels that way, it's how she feels, you know, like, make it, like, right the situation. So Kyle challenges her, like, oh, well, have you tried to get to know me? Like, you know, do you know me at all? So Garcelle tells her that, oh, well, I just think I'm more interested in what you have to say than what you are, than what I have to say, basically. And Kyle's like, oh, well, no, it's not like that. I mean, you know, but if you feel that way, you know, I mean, fine, you can bring it up. And then Garcelle says, well, I don't have to bring anything up. I'm just making a point. I'm like, ooh, okay. So Garcelle cut to her in her confessional saying that when Kyle is really interested in you, that means she'll be a good friend to you. But don't ask Dorita, ask Teddy. Good shade on her part. But yeah, after Garcelle says that, I was making a point. I wasn't bringing it up. Like, it was really silent. And then, you know, Sutton says like a little light joke and eases the mood. So next scene, we have Denise and Aaron. They're having their little date night at a dinner spot. They're talking about how she definitely did not enjoy Santa Barbara. She's talking about how the ladies ganged up on her about explaining a threesome to her daughter. Of course, her husband Aaron is on her side because, I mean, like, you know, it's her child. Like, she has the right to say, well, in her house, I don't want you talking about threesomes in front of my child. I don't care what they've been through. And I get that. And she really brings up how she felt betrayed by Renna of all people. I mean, I think she's known Renna the longest out of the whole group. And it feels like Renna is just like, I don't know, like really putting her on the spot when like she's known her this whole time. Like, she hasn't really defended Denise either. And I really did laugh out loud in Denise's confessional when she was like, well, if you had all these problems, like with me saying, own it about the wild things thing, well, bitch, why didn't you tell me something sooner, not in front of these ladies? She said that bitch with a real, like, capital B. Like, it was really hilarious. They also talk about Kyle's upcoming barbecue and they just don't want to go, especially Aaron. But I feel like Denise is pretty much contractually obligated to go. So the next day we're at Kyle, she's prepping for the barbecue. Garcelle arrives first to Kyle's detriment because of the conversation that they just had the previous evening. Now, this is a bougie ass barbecue. Like, this is a real decadent display. They have, trays out. I don't see Nan grill around. This is a real, like, rich upper crust white person's barbecue. Sutton looks cute for once. I really like this little yellow dress number, and I gotta say, shout out to one of my supporters in the comments. Like, they really pinpointed what Sutton looks like. She looks like the Planters Peanut Man, like with the thin arms and thin legs, but like kind of wide middle part. Like, good job. Kudos to the person in the comments. I wish I could shout you out. Teddy's husband always dressed like he has a midlife crisis, if y'all don't really notice that. We see Denise and her husband on the way, and she already has a chip on her shoulder. Like, girl, just don't go. Like, they are really, like, begrudgingly in the car, like, oh, God, I just really don't want to go to this. And then she didn't bring her kids either, and I'm sure that everyone else's kids is going to be there. So I really think she's damned if she do and damned if she don't. But I think she intentionally didn't want to bring her kids. She also was like, oh, well, where are we going to go to dinner after this? And I'm like, her husband's like, well, we're going to a barbecue. I'm not eating. Girl, just don't go next time. Dorit arrives looking amazing as usual. Like, I got to give it to the girl. She can dress, like, down. Like, in... Erica asks, so what is this? Chanel. So Denise arrives and Kyle asks her, like, oh, where are your kids? She said, oh, well, the other two had a sleepover to go to, and my other youngest has a play date. And she was like, oh, okay, because Kyle specifically, like, made a barbecue where everyone can go. So it's already a side eye from Kyle at this point. They're getting ready to get seated, but I'm serious, like, where is the barbecue? Where are the wings? Where's the barbecue sauce? You know, there's no potato salad, even though I'm pretty sure white people potato salad has raisins in it. I don't see no mac and cheese. Like, what is this? Like, they need to just call this a backyard dinner. They really do. So they're all seated. And Garcelle asks Denise, oh, where are your kids? She's like, you think I would bring my kids around this group of women? And Kyle overhears it. And I'm just like, now Denise, you didn't have to say that. And of course, something was going to pop off when you said that to the ladies, because you just told Kyle 30 minutes ago why your kids didn't come. So you lied about that. And not only is that passive aggressive, it's like you started this whole thing. Like, that's the only thing. Like, she has every right to not have her kids around them, but she started it. Let's just put it out there. Let's just call a spade a spade. So Kyle overhears her and is just like, oh, well, in the invite I said it was for kids, you know, like everyone else brought their kids. You could have too. Like, you don't want your kids around us seriously? Teddy asked that question to her, I guess just butting in, and not Garcelle, Denise doesn't really respond. And then Dorit asks her, and she still doesn't really answer the question. Because Dorit's like, well, my kids are right over there and we're fine. And then Garcelle jumps in and says, well, they're little kids under the age of 8. They're not paying attention to us. Which is a good point, because at Denise's party, like, you had teenagers right across from them. So I get that. That was a good point. Renna says she doesn't even know where her kids are. And that really just gave me a good old belly laugh. Like, even though Renna is with the shits, I enjoy her for this show. So now Denise is kind of like backpedaling a little bit on what she said now. And Teddy is like doing this annoying thing where she's asking questions passive aggressively, guessing to make her point. And Garcelle is literally like the only person at the table who has Denise back. So now Aaron, her husband, jumps in the conversation, which I'm pretty sure is going to only make the situation worse. And he pretty much just shuts Teddy down at the table. So Renna asks, what did your daughter Sunny say? Like, was she really like that offended? And this is the reason why Denise didn't answer the question. We get to the flashback. She brought it up to her kid. Her kid did not bring it up to her. And then she said, yeah, I heard y'all talking about threesomes, and she just laughed it off. She was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So it looks like Denise is making it a big deal for herself. And again, before we agree with Denise, like, yes, she can do whatever she wants with her kids. It's her kids. But she brought up this conversation at the table. Had she not made that little joke at the table, they wouldn't have talked about it. So Aaron is being very I don't know, just mansplaining to the ladies at the table. He really should just sit down and eat his food, honestly. He was just like, okay, so that's it, ladies. We're not talking about it anymore. We're over it. Erica Jane is quiet, like super quiet. You know she wants to say something, but she's trying so hard not to curse him out at the table. I think she walked off and Renna walked off to go play in the bouncy house. So Kyle's trying to tell her the bigger issue is that you saying that you don't want to bring your kids around us is just basically calling us bad moms in a passive aggressive way. Like we're bad role models or something to be around your kids. And I kind of get it. Aaron, her husband, is getting pissed. He just doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He keeps trying to shut it down. He was just like, can we just stop talking about this? Like, it's fine. Why don't y'all just move on? That's just how it works. Kyle's accusing Denise basically of saying like, well, you're still upset with Santa Barbara. That's why I'm just figuring out why you're so angry right now. And Denise is just like, do you ever listen? I think Teddy jumps in. Well, no. She cursed out Kyle. Did she curse her out? She dropped the F-bomb because I noticed Dorit's kid was at the table. And then, Teddy's over there, saying her little like, oh, well, isn't this a little hypocritical right now? Teddy, she's so annoying. She's really annoying in this situation. So Aaron is just basically saying some random weird space cadet shit, and I've been stopped following, and everyone just has just strange looks on their faces as he's trying to like calm the situation down in his own way, which is just basically pissing everybody off. So Denise has had it with Teddy. She's like, you're a fucking shit stir. And like Teddy's just like, who, like me? And it's just, she's over it. She's fed up. She gets up from the table. She's like, we're leaving. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm thinking they edited something out, just how they edited something out the other 2 weeks ago when Denise was saying bravo, bravo, bravo. So Denise gets up from the table and like she brings her husband with her. She keeps telling them not to talk. Like, stop talking. The cameras are following us. Kyle tries to follow her. Dorit tries to follow her, and Sutton. They're both trying to follow her, and she's ignoring them as they're trying to like, look, come back, please. Can we just talk about it? She's not even acknowledging them at this point. Aaron tries to, and she keeps telling them, stop talking. And at one point she said, stop fucking talking. He said, don't tell me what to say or I'm gonna crush your fucking hand. I was like, wait a minute. Zip, 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 zip. Did he just say I'm gonna crush your fucking hand? They didn't even put that shit in subtitles. Like, I was just flabbergasted by that. Like, should we be worried about that? Anywho, they keep storming out. They get to the driveway, and basically Kyle and Sutton are just there watching on as they leave, and we have a to be continued sign. This was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I'm glad Garcelle was back in it. I was entertained. I really do think Denise is carrying this season. She really is. I really wish we could get over the threesome conversation. I really don't even want to hear the threesome conversation anymore. I really just can't wait for the Brandy tea to come up. And speaking of that, we're at episode 8, but we already got the mid-season trailer. I'm like, wow, like already? So yeah, like in the mid-season trailer, we have Camille, we have Kim, we have Faye, Brandy, and then the Italy trip. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the next episode is. And I guess I'll see y'all then for that. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you for the next review.